The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore and return to a more balanced, wild world to take back control of our personal choice, health, and freedoms. I'm Nico Haan.
And I'm Paige Clarke.
And it's a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, about 85 degrees, sunny. We're in our summer system, it seems like, here. Folks, please subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. I have a brand new one coming over the airways right now. Also, check out our Primal Edge Daily Supplement. And you can do this at TFNN.com. You can use our Tiger Dollars. And just go to TFNN.com, and all that information is right there for you. And we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. Hi, Paige.
Hey there, Nico.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, I love it when you get the newsletter out a little bit early and I get to peruse it, and we just have some good stuff in there.
Yep.
I really hope people will take advantage of subscribing to our newsletter, because there's a lot of time spent during the week,
Yep.
Seeing what's hot, what's not, what's important.
True.
And what I love about it is all the clickable links. I think it's truly an electronic newsletter. So.
Yeah, because there's some really special links, which I'll talk about a little bit later on there. I just want to highlight them. I really wanted to start off this because we had Mother's Day just around the corner.
We did.
And my mother is gone, so I don't celebrate it too much. My children's mother is gone, so it's nice that they give messages to my wife. Mm-hmm. Who is not their mother, but they treat her like that,
which
is
village.
really nice. Yeah, it really
right?
takes a
Primal?
village. Yep, exactly. Yep. So I ran across this article, and this was through Sacred Science. It was really nice, and the wisdoms of a woman's heart. And I was struck by this because there was a little quote on here from Russell Means, who is a Lakota chief.
Yes, exactly.
Well-known actor, and of course he passed away last year. And I actually, a neat thing about Russell is that he actually talks to normal people. I sent him an email one time, maybe about a decade ago.
I remember you telling me this, and he responded to it
on a personal level, which was really nice. I always wanted to meet him. Unfortunately, that's no longer a thing. He says, "We men go from diaper to diaper. It's a simple fact. You need a woman to take care of you at the beginning of your life and at the end of your life. If you're foolish enough not to recognize that throughout your life, you'll never know love as a male, and you'll never really know love."
Wow, I just got goosebumps.
It's common knowledge that most indigenous cultures realize that a woman is the unshakable foundation of the civilization that has to be built upon that.
Well, we actually see that as history shows,
Yes.
that the matriarch it's usually been more of a matriarchal society.
Always has been until men took over when agriculture became more dominant. Men went to war because they protected things, they locked up things, and that's really started the domination of men over women.
Fighting, domination, violence.
Yeah, violence. And we see, of course, a lot of that in our world. Another quote by him, he says, "A mother's love doesn't stop with her children, it goes to her mate. And to be a recipient," and Russell Means gets choked up for a moment on this, "of that deep love that is stronger than I can ever hope to be." Wow, he says, "I am so blessed." So he says that first you get your mother's love, and then you get a companion love. And he says if you've never experienced those two things, your life isn't really fulfilled. And I truly believe that the mother's love is certainly different, but it's funny how you, I think, unconsciously seek out your mother, kind of like the women seek out their fathers, in a sense. Sometimes rebound. You don't seek it out, you try to avoid it, but it seems like it's not avoidable in a thing. Anyway, most men, including those in position of power, never really tested the old way of doing things. When Washington got the idea of structuring a democracy or a republic into a democracy type, he took the Iroquois Indian demographic. The only thing he switched was that in the Iroquois Nation, then the women were the head and made the major decisions. And he said, in our modern world, we can't do this. Of course, because women's rights really were downplayed for hundreds of years, started with the English and the French and the Dutch. We all did this.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you really stop and realize that it's been a very short period of time since we actually restored those rights to women.
Yes.
But,
yeah, it's, 100 years, basically, in our modern society, kind of.
You know, in a lot of the sites I read, they're talking about the reemergence of the divine feminine, and that it actually will be women that help us to restore balance to our societies.
Yeah.
I believe we see that happening.
Well, possibly so. I really don't see that happening. I mean, I see it happening in
It's
political...
It's going to be a slow process.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening with our modern democratic Republican system that we have, the two-party system that we have, or even if you have 10 parties. I don't think there's political solution to our modern problems. I think it's the social structure that we have.
Yeah.
And how we change that is, that's what we're kind of debating now through lots of different people. Michael Tellinger has his movement. The Zeitgeist movement has a movement, and there's a lot of different types of movement that want to take profitability and and put sustainability in. So, because our modern culture, if you think about it, really is structured on scarcity.
It absolutely is. In fact, you're kind of reading farther into this article, talking about a little bit of how we have gotten into this male-dominated culture. Terence McKenna, very outspoken, spiritual person, said, "Our style of society is the historical equivalent of a temper tantrum. It has no viability. It's completely self-limiting. It's destructive and hands nothing on to its receivers." Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's true, because if we look at the way our society is pointing, we had that train crash. If we wanted to make trains safe, we could. Well, all it takes is money, so the money is the problem. But it really isn't a problem. If we wanted to, and we didn't have this money structure, we'd have people fixing it because they want to. And that's the way I see it. So, I think the structure is the problem. I think the male-dominated system that we have is a perpetual system that's trying to reinvent itself, but it always comes out as the same male-dominated clown.
Listen to this.
Okay.
We can share this.
Yeah.
Anatomically speaking, we men are built to wander and either conquer or be conquered. Roaming freely about the world, we build and destroy with relative ease.
Yeah.
Waking up each morning approximately the same physical and mental shape we were in the week before. Our bodies don't change much, and without some skillful crafted interventions, our mind and spirit won't shift either. Women
Very interesting.
are an entirely different story. There is no taking an inventory, an evolutionary pass if you inhabit a female body. The laws of the universe just won't allow it. From early adulthood onward, a woman's physiology attunes to the rhythms of the earth and the moon, and she goes through the process of metamorphosis on a monthly basis, not to mention the whole bringing of life into this world
Yeah,
thing.
that's a whole different thing.
So.
I just looking at just the structure of our modern society, when I look at how my wife gets ready for the day and how I get ready. I give myself an hour and a half, but in that hour and a half, it's mostly just lollygagging around. If I want to get out the door, it takes me 10 minutes. If my wife wants to get out the door really fast, it's an hour. So it's a different thing, because your values are different before you step out that door to begin with.
Yeah.
We don't care, because we just want to be out there.
And how many
You
of those
care.
values have possibly been placed on us women, expectations that were possibly created as a male value?
No doubt about it, because we're completely out of balance because of it.
You need to have your eyelashes on. Your eyelashes aren't dark enough,
Yeah.
Your lips aren't
Yeah,
dark
all the
enough.
superficial stuff, but the meaning behind the whole thing is the women look at life in a different way. Men, we want to go out the door and we want to have adventures. Women want to have stability, safety, caring for the children. Those are things that you think about. We don't think about that so much. We think about that when there's danger, but
that's
we don't
why-
think about that as planning.
No, I
That's
totally
so much-
agree with that subject. Men are very bad about, in general, I'm not going to stereotype things.
No, I
but
mean, I
in
think
general,
about-
planning about their own mortality, for example. Women like to know that they're safe, warm, and dry,
Yes.
and that the people they love are safe, warm, and dry.
Right.
Men are like, oh, I haven't really thought about that. I'm too busy. I want to go watch the game. You know?
Well, I even think on a more primal level, we look at a woman and we think, oh, that's nice, let's go get it.
Yeah.
And women think, well, there's lots of guys out there. Let me see which one is really cool
And which one
will
will
take
keep
care
me
of
safe,
me.
warm, and dry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And men aren't out there. We're looking more at the sex angle of it. She looks good. She looks like she'd be good breeding stock. I'm out there trying to breed with her. And that's my number one goal. With women, it's a completely different mindset. And that's the way we approach life.
Can I put up with him long enough to keep him around?
Yeah, maybe.
To breed with him.
But it is different.
More than once.
That's the whole point. And I think if we build our society from a more primal way of looking at it, I think we're going to be better off. And that's...
So this kind of in closing on this subject, the author Nick Polizzi, who is the director of The Sacred Science, says, I am in constant awe of the colossal yet nurturing force of the feminine. And between you and I, the re-empowerment of the grandmother as head of society might be the only hope our world has of righting itself. Well, guys, I'm a grandma now, so I like that idea.
And I'm a great-grandfather.
That's pretty cool.
So it does make you think differently. I think different in stages of life, you look at things differently, too. Now I'm in my 70s, and I'm really thinking about my 80s and how I want to be in my 80s. I always try to look at the 10-year block for some reason. I don't know why. Probably my dad influenced me on that.
So I kind of like that you're actually looking ahead, because I find that a lot of men don't seem to want to look ahead. They're just kind of myopic a little.
Well, we look at. I want to see. When I say I want to look ahead, I'm not so thinking about my house and the structure of that. I'm thinking about me on a personal level. Where do I want to be in 10 or 15 years? And how do I want to look? And how do I want to perform? And how do I want to move? After all, I'm at the stage of where I'm looking strictly at health now. This is the number one thing for me. In my 30s, I thought about health, but it wasn't the number one thing. Now it is the number one factor in my life, staying healthy.
And you know what?
What?
I saw a great quote this week, and I apologize. It was by someone else, not me. But it said, health is not everything, but without health, everything is nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So
well, health might be not the number one thing, but I can't think of it below anything.
Yeah.
Number two is what?
But love.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Well,
no, I'm
just
sorry.
saying.
No, love actually is number one, actually. And I think if...
because that's the first thing we look for. As a child, we look for love because we want to cling to the mother, we want the nurturing.
I think love is number one. And then, you know, the deal is, like you said about health, we want to live longer, but we want to live longer, stronger.
Yeah, I just want to move the way I move now.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to roll on the ground, I can still roll on the ground.
That's the
If I want to
key
do a
point.
headstand, I can still do a headstand. If I want to do a dive into the water, swim for 20, 30 minutes without a problem, go for a 2 or 3 mile run, I can do that now. I can't imagine not being able to do that.
I agree with you. I think that, and that's
that
what
is
I think
freedom
sad.
to me.
Yeah. And you know, if anything, go out like a firecracker. You know, when you get old, be like I said, be like those longitarians, long-lived people, which we're going to talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
I've been
Make it
talking
your
to you about the
last
longitarians.
bungee jump,
Yeah.
you know.
Why not?
Yeah, you're ready to go, and you.
How about you guys?
You forget the cord, and you say, "Oh, well."
What do you see yourself doing when you hit that 100 years? We're all going to be there because we're living a primal lifestyle. Stay tuned.
point.
We're going for a break.
877-927-6648. Be right back. Nice segment. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Clarke, and I'm here with Nico Haan. We're living a primal lifestyle.
Yes, we are. I got this letter from Joyce, one of our Tigresses, and this was in April. I apologize we didn't get to it, but she was talking about this product which was really kind of interested me. It's called Switchel. Had you ever heard of that before?
Well, I'd never heard of the name Switchel, and I was very interested in the article because it gave a little bit of a history of something that I kind of encourage people to drink daily.
Yeah.
So, drinking vinegar to stay cool. So Switchel kind of had its roots in colonial America, where they were harvesting hay and getting quite hot and sweaty, and needing something to refresh them and keep them kind of rehydrated and keep their electrolytes in balance, which maybe they didn't even know what those were.
Yeah.
But we know that their intuition told them that. And
I've even read articles where it says the recipe kind of goes back all the way to the Roman times.
Correct, and to the use of Hippocrates as a medicine.
Oh, okay.
Sports drinks weren't around, of course, but these drinks were provided the electrolytes, particularly potassium, and a nice tangy taste. So really what it comes down to is we want you to start thinking, many of you know I'm a big advocate of drinking either warm or cold water with lemon, also a little apple cider vinegar in the morning.
Yep.
Both of these, the lemon and the apple cider vinegar, are both acid but they produce an alkaline result in the body.
Yeah,
Correct.
The
They help
body
the body
responds. Yeah, and in fact, it says here are some potential benefits of switch hill: regulated metabolism, balance your body pH. Improves your digestion, improves your concentration, reduces muscle soreness. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals, increased immune function, and it's anti-inflammatory.
Well, it's just wonderful, guys. And, how we feel if you are at your ideal weight, you can add a little bit of raw honey, your local honey, to that,
Yes.
have a little bit of a sweet taste. They often use honey or molasses being very high in the B vitamins. But again, we want to keep a touch of that. Or you can use a natural stevia to give it a little bit of a sweet taste.
Yeah.
But remember, ancient cultures have taught us that there's a benefit to all of the flavors that we have, whether it be sweet or sour or bitter or spicy.
Or tart.
Or tart. So I like to encourage people to sort of be conscious of what they're putting in their bodies, whether it be a meal or a drink, and sort of say, is this meeting my body's need for something sweet? Is this meeting my body's need for something tart? Is this meeting the need for something hot?
Or is it just a cover-up?
Right.
Yeah.
For example, if you haven't had something spicy, you could use that morning tonic time, I call morning tonic time, to have either the tart lemon vinegar drink, or you might add a little spice, add a little cayenne. So you're starting to see a lot of these things that go around the internet as the new hot thing. Folks, they're not just new, they're old hot things. People have been doing it for years, and as I've said to you, what I propose and share and empower people with is ancient wisdom with quantum science. We're blending old wisdom with the new wisdom, and we're using it so that it benefits us.
Yeah, I like that. She included kind of a recipe here. She says, I make the following: 1 inch of ginger, I assume in whatever container she's using, half of a cucumber that's peeled, and a half a lemon. I put in strawberries and or blueberries, and even a tangerine or just the above, and blend it in the Vitamix, which makes it very much like water, and I add it to about a half a gallon of water. I use water from the zero water filter. I then add apple cider vinegar with the mother in it to the water when I pour a glass. Drink it through the day, as I saw this recipe, which I haven't tried below. So there's other recipes here, too.
The other place that I like to point people to is there was an old Vermont doctor. A lot of this we talk about, up in Vermont, very healthy-oriented at the turn of the century. And Dr. J.C. Jarvis.
Okay, I've heard the name before.
Yeah, you can Google. He wrote a lot of how he used vinegar to heal almost all ailments, and I find it very interesting.
Yeah, it is, because the list is long. Yeah. I also got a email from Frank.
Oh, can I just say one thing on that on the vinegar? It just popped in my head. Many of you know that I'm a real big fan of natural beauty and anti-aging things that are, I don't really put things on my skin that I wouldn't eat. And, I have a little technique called the apple cider vinegar blast. You might not want to use it right when you're going to go snuggle with somebody because, you put apple cider vinegar on your face. It's pretty strong.
Oh, yeah.
But it really restores the truly acid mantle to the skin.
Yeah, my dad used it on his hair. He would use it to rejuvenate his hair.
Hundreds of uses. So, yeah, if you have a use, we'd like to know, or a suggestion. We'll share it. Put it in the chat room, and we got to take another break here. So
the number is 877-927-6648 if you'd like to join the program. I got a letter from Frank, which we'll go over after the break. So please stick around. Pick up some Primal Edge and check out our newsletters. Only $5 an issue, $10 a month. Thanks.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418 8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. This is Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. And you know, you can pick up my newsletter for $5 an issue. That's only $10 a month. And you get a lot of information out there, so we're going to go over a bit of it in a few minutes, but I just want to let you know that I not only have stuff about health in there, but a lot of stuff about Lecture Universe and about really what is happening in the world that may interest you about the knowledge kind of that we get from the past.
Well, and you and I both are so passionate about trying to pull together the ancient wisdom and the quantum science, and realize that the truth is somewhere in that mixing of the two.
There, I think.
I love this article.
Well, let me go over this first, because Frank was nice enough to write me. He says, I really enjoy your program, the Primal Edge, and your newsletter. We don't have fluoride, in our water supply, but I'm looking to get the best water for your consumption. How do you address this problem? And I basically told him that I've been drinking distilled water ever since the late 60s. So that's how I answered my problem. I also have a nice filter in my house, takes care of the shower and things like that. But I'm deeply interested in structured water, which you and I have talked about.
That's my real
and
passion.
I sent him a link about the structured water. He says, well, thank you for the information on structured water. We purchased a portable and shower unit. I'll keep you posted. We have a local company that delivers wild fish and pastured meats for free with a $50 order or $100 for free shipping outside the area. The quality is amazing. So he's in the New York City and Philly area.
I've spoken with Frank quite a bit. Yes,
Oh,
I
cool.
have. And hi, Frank.
And so, this is just another example of that. If you look for it, you'll be able to find the food you want and information about water.
And Frank and Christine, his wife, they are get-her-done people. He asks questions, he's making changes, he implements changes. And we're going to talk a lot more about structured water because I'm actually partnering with some companies on that.
Oh, good.
And as you know, I do the voice-activated sound therapy, which is delivering healing, designed by your own voice through structured water. Part of my protocols include making sure that at least half of your water you drink a day is structured. We really need that in order for our bodies to get the information.
I'm looking forward to hearing from him or other people. If you are using structured water, I'd like to hear your take on it because I'm really interested in it. So I found this article this morning, amazing 1930s pharmacist map, and on the telestrator I actually have a map, and this shows you all the herbs and different plants, wild plants, in different areas in the 1930s that they were using as medicine.
And they actually said, the map itself states under the heading, the service of pharmacy. Well, folks, now when we think of the service of pharmacy and we think of those plants, it would have to be changed from a PH to an F. Because today the pharmacy with a PH does not resemble many plants, although 80% of all drugs have their origins in plants. But sadly, they have been altered biochemically so as to be patentable, and we know from quantum research that it is often the synergist and cofactors that are found in whole foods that are what give us the efficacy. One of the reasons that I was adamant that we had synergist and cofactors in whole foods in the primal edge, so that we would make sure that our bodies would recognize it as food and as natural medicine and not a chemical that created a stressor. But that is a beautiful map. In fact, I think that's, I might have to frame that for the office.
Yeah, I know.
I like it.
I'll send it to you, and I'm going to put it into a future...
See, if you subscribe to the newsletter, if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll be able to click on it and print it out yourself.
Yeah, and I won't have just a copy of it. I'll have a link to the large one, so you could actually print one out with a nice printer and have it for you. But I think these things are so interesting. One of the things that you mentioned, of course, the patentability of taking a part of a plant. And I think, they identify certain things in plants, and they take those things out. But I think that's a mistake. I think, like you said, it's better the other way around.
We've proven...
Excuse me.
Yeah, the ear's a little dry in here. I think we're both going through that. The cofactors, synergists, and transporters are crucial keys to making sure that the body can recognize and use the nutritional information, because I'm going to say it again, folks. I see it every day. I see wonderful formulas that everyone, even including Dr. Oz, is purporting, and many times it's an isolated nutrient. The body doesn't recognize it that way. It may have a temporary effect, but synthetic nutriture eventually damages the DNA, because our DNA recognizes light, because the way that our cells communicate is via light. And Fritz Albert Popp proved this. The physicist, Fritz Albert Popp, P-O-P-P, I think, proved this to his colleagues, despite being ridiculed, that it is through very, though dim, spectrum of light that is beyond our visual spectrum is how our cells communicate. And it is how a particular cell, organ, gland, or system works. In other words, the kidney cells send out light, which we can also think of light equaling sound, sound and light. That's why structured water is such a great carrier, as being the same thing. So your liver cells have a certain resonant light frequency, and your kidneys have another one, and your heart has other ones, and your eyes and your ears. So goes that we have to have an understanding of what is cell resonant, and cell resonance is what is going to help our bodies have the best and greatest health and the most rapid shift back to our ideal health if we're not in fact enjoying that. Listen to this. The FDA's very definition of a drug now precludes the use of natural substances. And drug-based medicine has become a form of human sacrifice, on a scale that may exceed previous civilizations' sacrifice of their population for ostensible religious reasons. Folks, death by pharmacy, death by properly prescribed prescription drugs is the 4th leading cause of death in this country. Now that is the official quote. Many of us know that it's actually much higher than that.
Yeah. This is interesting here. We have entered an era where medicine no longer bears any resemblance to the art and science of healing. Doctors no longer facilitate the body's innate self-healing capacities with time, care, and good nutrition and special help from our plant allies.
Well, that could have been said by me. That's exactly how I feel.
That's exactly why I said it. You know, many modern diseases are in fact created by fiat, which is
fiat.
Fiat? Is that the car? I don't think so.
No, by fiat, meaning like fiat currency. Fake.
Oh, okay, fake. Yeah, age-old symptoms.
Created by fiat, not unlike modern currencies. That's what they're saying. Not real, not backed by nothing.
Yeah,
fiat is backed by
the medicines themselves are often devoid of intrinsic value, being nothing more than rebranding and repurposed chemicals.
In fact, that is quite true, that there are many drugs that are just being repackaged and rebranded and re-released and used for something else.
Yeah, intended, though too often failing, to be administered in a sublethal concentration.
Well,
continuously.
This is huge, Nico, and I'll just digress a little bit because, you know, I had a background in medical laboratory science. I was managed care director, you know, out of college, and have worked with physicians, and I guess you could say kind of in the medical industry earlier in my life, but that's when I became quite aware that there was no such thing as healthcare. It was healthcare cost containment, not healthcare. But this leading cause of death, the 4th leading cause of death, pharmaco-induced death, is very disturbing. And, you know, I have been working on some projects that involve the future. As you know, I'm very passionate about epigenetics, and I'll re-educate those of you who might have forgotten, or if those of you who haven't heard. Epigenetics simply means above the genes. What are the factors that are going on beyond the genes? And the factors that are going on beyond the genes are all lifestyle factors, or things that we can change.
Something's telling to the genes what to do.
It's choices and epigenetic or environment. But I'm a very big supporter. In fact, I'm making some moves to get involved in this, in the emerging science of pharmacogenetics and nutrigenetics or nutrigenomics. Let's talk a little bit about that. Genetic testing, since I'm stating to you that the majority of disease issues are epigenetic or above the genes, meaning that the genes are soft. Only less than 2. You know, some people say 10, but let's just say less than 10%, maybe as little as 2% of illnesses are hard-coded genetic diseases. I think Big Pharma would like you to think that it's much more than that. In other words, that your genes are your destiny, and that there's going to be a drug one day after billions of dollars that's going to save you. But the truth is, folks, is it is less than 10%, and it's what you do, how you breathe, how you sleep, how you eat. All of those things are the things that matter. Now, every person should have a pharmacogenetic test, and I'm going to be able to talk to you about that in the future here. You know, you need to know, just like it's like your blueprint. It's individualized medicine. It's personalized medicine. It's the future of care, where you will know. You know, we hope. Personally, I'd like to suggest that perhaps you don't need a drug to fix whatever's wrong with you. But in the event you do, let's say you end up in a hospital, you need to know your pharmacogenetic or your genetic sequence that might predispose you to how a drug might be dangerous for you. You know? Yeah. Now, I found out, listen to this, I found out just by happenstance that I have a little bit of a gene SNP that puts me at a higher risk of being a rapid bleeder. That would definitely be something that a hospital should know in the event I was. So my thing is, every patient, every doctor needs to be doing pharmacogenetic testing and then take it the next step. I'm very excited. I am hoping, if things work out, you guys know stuff before everyone else does, but I'm working on a nutrigenomic test that really works on making a lot of this genetic information, say from 23andMe, usable in a format that the end user can use. Yeah. So the combination of those two, I think, are huge in helping us, you know, stop this really atrocious situation we have of fourth leading cause of death. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And that's properly prescribed, folks. We didn't say because the doctors made a boo-boo, because those happen too. We're talking about, the fact that these drugs are being prescribed without a knowledge of that person's individual biochemistry or lifestyle choices, what's affecting their gene expression. And it truly is a responsibility if this testing is available and covered by insurance. We should be wanting and demanding our doctors to do this.
It's scary just reading or listening to the other side of the drugs. In other words, first they tell you you can get rid of this and this and this, or you're going to be happy with this drug, and then the disclaimer at the end of the commercial and listing all the things. You can get rid of your headache, but you might lose your arm, that type of thing.
Right, or you might die.
But let me go on, because there's another side to this whole thing that's happening politically, and that is that we may no longer have really control over the natural things too. Because our natural supplements are always under attack in Congress by people like Monsanto, by all kinds of drug people who want to control the natural stuff too.
Yes, there's an international organization kind of under the UN umbrella called Codex Luminaris.
Right. That's
and
what
they are, and unfortunately even UK and Europe is experiencing, much lower efficacies. We can know that a nutritional supplement or component can actually have positive effects, as we often cite research in GreenMed Info, which is the database of the world's largest database of evidence-based medicine on natural substances, from PubMed. They just don't get any airtime. But, this move to try and eliminate our ability, to have access to these natural substances should be first and foremost a concern for all of us.
Yeah, it says right here, for example, the United States may soon no longer be able to allow the over-the-counter sale of many dietary supplements due to our membership in the World Trade Organization and its ramifications of the Codex Alimentarius. We already have prescription-only vitamins on the U.S. market, and very dangerous precedents has already been set with the criminalization of herbs like cannabis and other things like
recently ephedra, which is an herb. So folks, and like when you see pharmaceutical grade medicines, very few of these pharmaceutical grade supplements have whole food synergist and cofactors. They are usually derived from the pharmaceutical petrochemical industry, and this is why we do what we do. We want to help bring you aware of these things. We want you to understand why we're doing what we're doing, and take note.
Yeah, and one of the things that I just want to conclude with this part is it's very, very liberating to be on no medication at my age.
And me too.
And you too. And yeah, I think that's what everybody should be striving for, to get rid of these medications. Do it under supervision, however.
Correct.
We're not doctors here, but
No.
I'm thinking that the modern medicine route is not the way to go, and I think all of the Tigers and Tigers should be really investigating how can I get healthy and how can I get off these drugs, even the over-the-counter ones.
Right, and your doctor, if he's your best friend, that's what he should be doing. And folks, let me tell you something. I love medical doctors. I want them on my team, but folks, they were never trained in nutritional medicine. Most of them aren't, and they are welcoming the support of moving this direction. So just know that you want to start moving towards doctors that are implementing the latest science to know what's safe for you, to get to know you. Individualized, personalized medicine. It's coming. You need to go for it, both on the nutritional and the drug side, and the idea is to get rid of the drugs.
Yeah, and you want to go take a step in the right direction, pick up some Primal Edge right now.
And get our newsletter. We'll see you after this next break.
Thanks.
You know what's cool?
taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. I just want to go over the Health Signals newsletter. Of course, you get this twice a month on the first and third Friday of each and every month. $5 each one, $10 a month. And, of course, you can cancel anytime. The first 30 days is free. So
that's so good, guys. Come join us, and then you'll know why we get into all this stuff.
Just a few of the topics. Tylenol, numbing you out. We were talking about over-counter drugs, and this
right
is
on
just
target with what we were saying. Just further issues that's going on.
Another thing here is eating to lose weight, and here's a pretty good way of doing it. Eating really good fats for you will help you lose weight. I just want to highlight a few things. Food choices that can help you live longer.
This is the book, The Blue Zone Solution by Dan Buettner. And I really am going to be wanting to read that, as you all have heard me talk about Dr. Marshall's pending biofield diet book and the research he's done. See a lot of parallels.
Yep.
Some of it being, we could say, a little contradictory to what we've been doing. Some parts of it
well,
are congruent.
These people all live in different areas, and they're going to be eating their local food, so they're going to be eating different things.
And that's the beauty of it, folks, is that there is no hard, fast rule.
No.
Pretty much, if you are eating a real food diet, you're already half the battle.
Yeah, it's
so
basic common sense. I think it's just interesting to see what these people are eating, and they're healthy. Next one is...
one thing they're not doing is eating late at night.
Yeah, eating late at night is not good for you.
And that's a lot of the ideas of giving your body a rest, because about knowing chronobiology, that our body does a lot of repair at night.
Here's an article about soil productivity and how it's a real problem. One of the reasons that we include the fulvic and humic acid in, because we don't have the great soil. This is an interesting one because there's a lot of different kinds of cramps. A lot of you might wake up with a cramp in your leg or something like that. There's an interesting little thing here. Why does soap soothe your nighttime leg cramps?
I have never seen that. I will admit, I've seen a lot of things because I'm a ferocious reader.
I know.
But that I had not seen.
No, and I have a client who tried it. In fact, she has cold feet, so she wears socks. So when a cramp comes, she has to take her sock off, and the soap is there, and it stops the cramp. Nobody really knows why.
I have a tonic for that, by the way.
Oh, do you?
You should ever call me.
Okay. And, of course, information about a primal edge. This is interesting.
That's always, we can always count on Nico at the end of the article to give us a little something sexual.
Yeah, this is really not sexual.
Okay, why is the foreskin such a secret in North America?
Yeah, and this really goes, we talk a lot about the females being mutilated, but we never talk really about the males being mutilated. And it is my opinion that circumcision is a form of it. And this is not the whole article, but there's a link here where you can read the whole article. But this gives you a nice synopsis of it, and there's a link to the complete article there if you're interested in that. This is a Rise and Fall of the Cherokee Nation, and talks about their plight. It's an interesting book. In our lifetime, we could see the Earth's magnetic field flipping.
We talked about that last week, but we thought we want to put that in the...
Here's an interesting way. A lot of people looking for a more natural way to deodorize yourself, let's say. And they have this Primal paste. I've never used it. I use the crystal, which works quite well.
And I use my ozonate.
Yeah.
Ozone.
And I have people using milk and magnesia, lots of different things.
The idea is to get the dangerous chemicals and metals
like
aluminum.
Caveman. I've always been fond of that. Some great recipes on some beef back ribs, some flavor enhancers with different types of sauces you can use. Of course, throw in a little dessert with salted chocolate.
I always have a little something sweet.
Yep. And then, of course, some reason why you should do inversions, maybe standing in your head, that type of thing. And there's a lot of health benefits to that. And here's an amusing article about this new discovery that they had. And on this last page, I put Michael Steinbecker. He's the guy from the Electric Universe that will describe to you something that you probably are going to say, what? This happened in maybe 3, 5, 10,000 years ago? And it's pretty interesting. Go check it out.
That's from the Thunderbolts Project. We're keeping you up to date all over the world.
That's it for folks. We'll see you next week, okay?
Have a wonderful weekend. See you next time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.